And we begin tonight at 6 with a hopeful update about this homeless encampment that we've been talking about in Fountain Square. The people who live there, who just found out today the city is going to connect them with housing. Ashton Hackman explains how city leaders plan to do it.
Roughly 5 people are left here at the homeless encampment on Leonard Street, but you can see several tents are still along this stretch of the road as homelessness advocates now work to get many of these people into housing. For the few remaining people living in tents along Leonard Street, it's been weeks of wondering what's next after being told they will have to leave. A delayed deadline now raising potential housing solutions.
Directly into housing. Someone signing a lease on an apartment and in housing. It's not just an offer.
CEO Chelsea Herring-Cozy with Coalition for Homelessness Intervention and Prevention says a test run at a different encampment was a success. 10 people now with a place to live and an encampment closed and cleaned up.
There are 10 people who were living on the streets just a month ago who are now in permanent housing with supportive services and safe, and that site has now been permanently closed and we are ready to move to the second site.
13 News first reported on the concerns and safety issues stemming from the Fountain Square encampment. Since then, outreach groups with Horizon House have collected the names and information for those who've been there long term. Only those already there will be getting the help.
People should not relocate or come to Leonard Street. With this announcement, this is a little bit outside of a typical process. We don't typically make the site public, but this is a unique situation. And again, we don't want the folks at Leonard to not be able to be part of this.
Ardor will help with housing navigation, unit location, and landlord engagement.
We are committed to working with the folks at Leonard Street and the folks who have moved on since the initial posting was notified.
Right now, there is no deadline on how long it will take all of these people to get access to housing, but we're told in previous encampments, it's taken roughly 4 to 6 weeks. Reporting in Fountain Square, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
And we're told tonight that IMPD will help ensure that no one moves into that encampment in Fountain Square. Indy DPW will also help up the cleanup once it's empty. Well, tonight at 6, IMPD is now investigating a report of an attempted rape on the Monon Trail. Tonight, police are telling us that officers responded to a call around 5:45 yesterday morning near Sutherland Avenue on the Monon. A woman told officers she was running on the trail when she was attacked by a man who was wearing dark clothing. IMPD says officers will continue increased patrols along the Monon and other trails. They still recommend that you have a safety plan before heading out. Tonight at 6, a cemetery on the near south side of Indianapolis says that police are making some progress in recovering more than $170,000 worth of stolen property. New Crown Cemetery says IMPD recovered some of the 246 bronze vases stolen from that property earlier this week. The general manager of that cemetery told us she's not quite sure how the suspects are stealing these vases. So if you have a loved one buried at New Crown, please contact the cemetery. Next week, state and local leaders will hold a ceremony to rename the Elwood Post Office in honor of a fallen police officer. Noah Chavez died back in 2022 when someone shot him during a traffic stop. The ceremony will take place next Wednesday. Carl Boards is charged with shooting and killing Officer Chavez. Carl Boards' trial is scheduled for January. Angela?
Scott, a bit more humid today. Temperatures back into the low 90s. We have 91 Carmel. We're close to 90 in Indianapolis at 88, down from our high of 91. Still 90 degrees in Crawfordsville at this hour. Feels like temperatures have peaked between 95 and almost 100, especially in areas south and west of Indianapolis. Still feeling like 99 in Terre Haute. Those feels like temperatures will be close to 100 for the weekend as well. Our Fever back at home tonight, taking on the Mystics. If you're coming downtown, a warm and muggy evening. That is a 7:30 tip at Cambridge.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. Some Indiana Republicans are heading to Washington, D.C. after getting an invite from the White House. The Indiana Capitol Chronicle obtained the email invite. Republicans in both the House and Senate are confirming that invitation tonight. And our State House reporter Emily Longnecker got a chance to read it. So, Emily, what does it say?
Well, the email was sent by the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs. It invites Indiana elected officials to a 4-hour meeting with White House officials and cabinet secretaries. That meeting would happen in Washington, D.C. on August 26, where it says that Indiana's elected officials would get a chance to talk about how they can partner with the administration to implement the president's agenda both at the state and local level.
The email does not mention the topic of redistricting, but says there will be a question and answer session after each speaker, along with representatives from agencies there to answer questions. According to the date on the email, it was sent July 28th. That's just over a week before Vice President J.D. Vance visited the State House to meet with Governor Mike Braun and other state Republican leaders. The meeting set for late August is part of a series of meetings the administration has been holding with other states, according to a House Republican spokesperson. Governor Braun has not committed to holding a special session, saying he wanted to hear from lawmakers. A handful of Indiana Republican lawmakers have come out this week to say they were against such a move, including Representative Craig Haggard, who said he had not heard from constituents who were in favor of a special session. Friday, though, Haggard said that had changed and that he was not a definitive no now because more constituents had reached out to say they favored holding a special session, something that would cost the state money to do.
I think if we go into session, people will be mad. I think if we don't go into session, people will be mad. I think that obviously, I think my votes have shown that I don't like a lot of spending and I don't like to do things that are frivolous. This is obviously something that we have to deal with. And we can't just ignore. And so this is something I think that if the governor calls it, we need to do it.
The topic of redistricting has become a hot button issue in recent weeks across the country, with Texas Democrats leaving the state and staying in Illinois to avoid a vote on a redistricting proposal there. This week, Hoosier House Democrats traveled to Chicago to show their support and decry any push to redistrict in Indiana. House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta released a statement Friday afternoon, thanking Republican lawmakers who had come out against calling a special session. The statement went on to say, quote, "All we've heard from our constituents since this became an issue is that they are opposed. To my Republican colleagues, I ask, are you going to listen to Hoosiers or are you going to bow to Donald Trump?" In Indianapolis, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Well, as Emily mentioned in her story, redistricting really a hot topic both here in our state and all across the country. We talked about it this week on Crossroads Politics. You can watch that show Sunday morning at 10, streaming over on WTHR+. The Liv Golf tournament is taking over the club at Chatham Hills this weekend. Organizers there expecting about 15,000 fans every day. That event is creating a real buzz around Westfield, where businesses hope to cash in on the excitement. Our Jenna Webster joins us live from downtown Westfield, where businesses are hoping fans enjoy time off the course too. Jenna?
Yeah, the biggest thing we've heard from all the small businesses here in Westfield that we talked to today is that they really rely on big events like this coming to the town, especially because lately there's just been so much construction ongoing, which also means a lot of detours. Big Hoffa's Smokehouse Barbecue is one of more than about 75 businesses around Hamilton County that's part of a Beyond the Course promotion this weekend. You just sign up online, it's free, and you can get discounts or other special offers at all these places. Now, Big Hoffa's says it's expecting big crowds this weekend. They already got some of the tournament security and shuttle drivers here earlier. The owner says Westfield is definitely marketing itself as a destination for big events like this.
Oh, it's great. That's what we rely on, really. I mean, we have a great crowd with the locals here all the time, but we get a lot of business from Grand Park and from tournaments like this in town, so it's really nice. We could feed 3,000 people in a day here, and sometimes we do. So we can crank out some food for sure.
The owner of the Smokehouse Joint, who you just heard from, says the tournament is also coming at a great weekend because they are also debuting a little expansion to their restaurant. Now, back when Liv Golf announced that the tournament was coming here to Westfield, it was estimated the economic impact would be anywhere from $21 to $29 million. So definitely a lot of small businesses hoping to get in on some of that action this weekend. Scott.
All right, Jenna Webster in Westfield, thanks so much.